Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and I am your watch guy today. Today I am reviewing a piece from Cadisen. I haven't reviewed the Cadisen in a little while, so it is nice to have them back on the channel. Now, they've sent me their latest GMT piece, which is packed with the NH34 movement. We all know how much I love the NH line and how affordable it makes watches. Now this one is a little bit of a mixture of different things. I couldn't really put my finger on it, but it was more of a Frankenstein homage than it was a homage. So, kind of interesting. Now, if you wanted to pick this watch up, I have linked it in the description on the Cadisen official store. Please do be aware I referenced the sale prices in this video. They may have gone up since then, so definitely check before you look to purchase. If you wanted to pick up any of my pre-owned pieces, I also have my online store linked in the description. So some fantastic deals on there at the moment, if I do say so myself. Now, with that out of the way, let me turn this camera around and let's get into this Cadisen. Here we have it, guys. Cadisen back in the studio. Now, this is less of a homage and more of a Frankenstein of homages. Obviously, we can see that this gets plenty of inspiration from the GMT Master line. However, it is also inspired by, well, the Sprite left-handed dive that Rolex now offer, and the Batman, and their meteorite dials. Now, this is not a meteorite dial, it is just an effect to this piece, as you probably can tell. So, let's get into what makes this watch. So I'm not going to spend a ridiculous amount of time on this piece because it is something that we have seen quite a bit of already. I don't know how many of these GMT Master homages that I have reviewed. However, this is probably getting into 5 or 6 now. This is packed with a new movement. It's packed with the NH34. I'm not sure we have a left-handed NH34 piece available through any of the other brands at the moment. So it is nice to see it used in this type of mechanism or this type of design. The big elephant in the room with this piece is that left hand crown. It is a screw down crown. We don't have a gasket or anything like that on the inside of there, any rubber gaskets. First position is the date as well as the GMT hand itself. Now, one thing that we can definitely assure on this piece, NH34, the NH movement line, you'll be very happy with the movement. Let me talk to you about the dimensions very quickly. It is exactly as you would expect. It's 41.5 millimeters in diameter here to here. It is 13.1 millimeters thick. You can see on the high polished sides there. 48.1 millimeters lug to lug, and these are 20 millimeter lugs. Now, we do have a mixture of brushed and polished finishes through this casing. High levels of brushing on the upside of the lugs and a high polish throughout the side of this piece, as you'd expect from these homages. We have a 120 click unidirectional bezel. There's a GMT bezel insert in that Batman-esque style. One thing that Cadisen do that a lot of other brands don't is they do engrave the chaptering section of their piece with the logo. I think that's a nice touch myself. We have a signed crown. Just open up this clasp and you can see the case back of this piece is a very simple brushed case back with the usual information around the outer edge, including the model number, which is the C8217G. This is available in different color options. I opted for the meteorite style dial because I thought that would be a little bit of a distinction to the other pieces that they offer. Sapphire crystal separates the dial and the open world here with a cyclops over the date. Now, as cyclopses go, it's slightly off. However, the magnification is quite good. Moving into the dial itself, you can see we have applied indices throughout in that Rolex type of style. Now, we have GMT automatic, water resistant 20 bar printed above the 6 o'clock. At the 12 o'clock, we have the Cadisen logo with the Cadisen print below it. The blue GMT hand really does set off the blue sector of the 24-hour GMT ceramic bezel on this piece. The rest of the handset is typical Rolex homage, the Mercedes handset and a sweeping second hand. It's all sized quite nicely and fits very well to the design. Let me get the lights out and we'll assess this lume shot really quickly. So the lume isn't too bad on this piece. The handset is definitely better than the dial itself. We have a pale blue lume throughout. The dial definitely does need a heavier spread for this to be considered a good lume shot. However, as the Aliexpress market goes, it's not that bad. And for the sub £80 pricing, I think it's half decent. I'd probably give this a 6 out of 10 myself. It's not exactly inspired, however, everything's loomed the way that it should be. If they wanted to add a few points on there, I'd definitely add a loomed bezel insert. As it goes for Aliexpress pieces, as I said, not bad. The bracelet is exactly what you'd expect. You've seen this a million times. I don't think I'll go into it too much. High polish to the sides, brushed through the centre, and this machined clasp. Actually have a little bit of a glide extension on this one, which is a step up to the usual stuff when it's functioning properly. It's not exactly the easiest one to lock in. It's not exactly the easiest one to use, but it's definitely, I'd like to say, added feature and not hamper. But yeah, not bad. So let me pop this on wrist while we talk about my actual thoughts on this piece and its drawbacks for myself. On the sale at the moment on the Cadisen official store, this piece is actually £61.15. Now for an NH34 movement piece, I think that's actually a decent deal. It definitely has its drawbacks, however. As you can see, it fits nicely to wrist. It is the same type of stuff that we've seen for years on Aliexpress. I just pop this off. They've created a left-hand dive piece here. However, they've attached the bracelet the wrong way around, or the way around that would be for a right-handed. It folds out completely the wrong way. If you go and grab one of your watches now, you'd be able to see, which threw me off at first. Now, it's not a big deal. I can change that around myself. It's literally not the end of the world. However, it just goes to show the mentality behind this piece, I think. The edges throughout the watch, a little bit sharp, not exactly brilliant. The finishing isn't bad. The bezel is definitely a drawback. A lot of wobble in there, a lot of play in certain places. Honestly, it's better than some that I reviewed about 3 years ago, but we still have this massive wobble in the bezel fit. Honestly, just feels like it's been thrown together as a parts bin experiment and thrown out onto sale. God knows why they've sent me this, because, well, I don't know if they think that I'm going to be wowed by it or not see it for what it is, but it's just a load of parts that they put together. It's not that they've actually designed. It doesn't even really make sense to a homage, because it's like Batman met bloody Frankenstein. They've got a meteorite style dial in there that looks more like creased foil. The left hand crown that you'd see on the Sprite, and then this Batman bezel. I get that they've tried to do something different, but it's just a bit of the same with poor aspects to it, I think. This all being said, it is available in different colour options, and therefore, so some of these modes won't be warranted for those colour options. The final mode that I have is that Cadisen logo that's applied to the dial. I just don't understand it. I mean, they should have really just forgone the 12 o'clock indice and used that logo instead. It just looks way too cluttered like that for me. I've seen them do it on other models where they've used that as the 12 o'clock indice, and I think that's the way to go. I think it distinguishes the piece a little bit, adds a little bit of something different, but this just looks like clutter on that dial. The dial doesn't look very nice at all either. I understand that this may be a real good option for some people that are on a tight budget and want an NH34 style watch, an NH34 based watch even, sorry. It just feels a little bit uninspired for me. Hopefully I'm not being overly negative. Right, this is definitely one that you're going to have to let me know what you think of, guys. I think that it's a little bit of a miss from Cadisen myself. Now, I do see some people maybe liking it. I definitely see people actually liking the Sprite homage that they offer. That may be a better option for a lot of us, especially those of us that actually want a left-hand dive piece that goes in that type of fashion. Now, personally, I don't know if I'd pay the 70 odd pounds for this one. If it comes back down to the sale price around the 60 range, I think that's a really good deal. Again, if you wanted to pick this up, it is linked in the description. Remember, Cadisen have sent me this for free. I don't have to send it back, but I'm pretty sure you can tell by my review I've been completely open and honest with you guys. Thank you for watching this one. I'll see you in the next one.